Alright, so this is your assignment 1 for fitness testing and training for the Uniform Public Services with Alex Gager. And it's out on the 8th of October, which was this Monday just gone, and it's due in on the 4th of the 11th, so that gives you sufficient time inclusive of the half term. There's only one criteria, so it's describe the entry fitness requirements and tests of 3 different public services. Alright, so read the scenario and gauge what the scenario is asking you to do, but effectively it's asking you to create 3 posters or 3 information leaflets, and effectively I'll talk you through what that task looks like now. So to complete this task, you're required to produce a detailed information sheet with illustrated pictures and descriptions of the fitness test requirements for 3 different public services. So you might do the Royal Marines, the Army and the Fire Service. The description of each must include the entry and ongoing requirements for different roles. Alright, so the first thing you do is you describe the entrance tests and ongoing fitness tests, including the specific standards like the entry requirements for different jobs, roles for 3 different public services. So what I would do is I'd look at the first one. Okay, so if we're looking at the Marines, I describe the entry tests. What are they? What are the accepted standards? And then what are the ongoing tests and what are those accepted standards? So I would describe that process. I would then, once I've done that, state the reasons for differences between the entry requirements for different public services. Okay, so I might say the entry requirements are different for the Marines to the Army because this is and this, and also I might say that actually the roles, the different roles within, for instance, the Marines, why is the entry requirements or the testing procedures different for those roles as well? Okay, so I might compare it to another public service, but I might also compare it to the same service, but how the roles are different in terms of the entry requirements. Then once you've done that, you need to say the reasons for the inclusions of particular tests. So if we're talking about the Royal Marines, why is there a particular test? So why is there the swimming test? What's the relevance to it? How does it relate to the role, the jobs they do, etc. So you need to be really specific. And then I want you to talk about the reasons for assessing that current fitness level. Okay, is it to monitor progression, set goals, motivate, feedback from training programs, benchmark after returning from injury, use of repeat testing to establish gains, annual fitness checks? What are the reasons and why? Okay, I want you to base that on. So effectively, for each public service, you will do this bullet point for the Marines, this bullet point for the Marines, this bullet point for the Marines, and this bullet point for the Marines, and then you might do the Army, so you do this bullet point for the Army, this bullet point for the Army, this bullet point for the Army, and this bullet point for the Army, and then you might do the Fire Service, and again, you follow the same procedure. Alright, now, what I started to do is I started to lay something out, and let's see if I can see it behind. Okay, so I've got one on the Army, and what I was going to do, I've only just started the template, so I go, what are the tests? So I talk about the entry tests, and I describe each of the entry tests and say what the entry requirements of each of them are. And then I would go and talk about the ongoing tests, and then I would do the other bullet points below. Okay, it needs to be, you need to make sure that you cover all the specifics within the brief, make sure it's accurate. Okay, there's lots of resources out there to support you with in terms of making sure that you've got accurate information. So just go online and have a look at some of the tests. Look at your handouts. We've done what we have done is the police, the Royal Marines, the Army, and the Fire Service. So you should have accurate information on each of those for the entry tests, and in most cases the ongoing tests. If not, use the internet, because that is a useful resource to find out this information. As I say, it's due in on the 4th of the 11th, which is a significant time, and you're expected to meet that deadline. So please make sure you do, as it is only that one pass criteria.